Hello, my crafty goblins and ghouls. I hope you're having a bootastic day. This is the Good Witch, Robyn Pitts with Sir Chauncey Rocco Creative Designs. If you're new to my channel or you're a returning viewer, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me on my crafting adventures. Welcome to day 3 of the Spooktacular Halloween series. I've been having a lot of fun creating these projects, and I hope you're enjoying them as well. For today's project, I have a very fun and easy project that requires no dies or electronic cutting machines. I have created this embellishment suitcase, which was inspired by Christian from Christian's Crafty Adventures. I'll be sure to include a link in the description box below. In today's video, I'm going to review these two embellishment boxes, and we're going to make one together. Before we review these projects in further detail, let me tell you the paper products that I used. For this first suitcase, I used the Prima 31. This is available at ASC Craft Supplies. You can visit them online or on their Etsy store. Please feel free to use my coupon code Robyn10. That's all in capital letters to receive a 10% discount upon checkout. For the second embellishment suitcase, I use this fun and whimsical stack by DCWV. It's called Halloween Town, and I purchased this at Joann's. These embellishment suitcases are so adorable, and they're really easy to make, and you can customize them for any holiday or any time of the year. As you can see with these two boxes, I did one which was pastel and pink and sophisticated, and then I have a fun whimsical one with the traditional Halloween colors. Let's take a look at this first box. I'm going to adjust my camera and then I'll be right back. This is the first box, and I just think this is so adorable. On the handle, I have outlined it with this rhinestone trim, and I've also continued the rhinestone trim around the perimeter of the window. We have this fun cluster here. We've got this cute ghost, which I fussy cut, along with the moon and the clouds. And behind it, I have a few of the flowers from the 31 collection, some ephemera. And then back here, I have that black tulle with the little polka dots from Dollar Tree. On the lower corner, we have these stacked jack-o'-lanterns, more flowers from the Prima collection, and then I've added in cream and black stamens here just to give this a little pop. And then we have this little sentiment that says pumpkin patch. I've also added on the top and the bottom these black spider webs, which I think adds a spooky elegance to this project. This is a side, and this is the back. This overall box measures 7 inches by 4 1/8 inch. As you can see, I have this stuffed with fun embellishment. So let's take a look inside. In the first pocket, I have this black pom-pom trim. In the second box, I have these beautiful pink beads. They're all different, and we also have some pearls. Next, we have these fun black and white and silver beads. They're all different. These beads I purchased at Hobby Lobby. This bead is fun. It has a black heart on it. And this one reminds me of a little disco ball. You've got a pearl with rhinestones on it. And in the last compartment, I've included these Nouveau crystal drops. So that's the first one. Let's take a look at the second box. This one I think is so fun and whimsical. On the top part here, I've taken a 3x4 cut apart in the paper pad, and I've cut it apart. So it says Fright this way, and then I fussy cut the little hearse and popped it up on foam tape and fussy cut these cute little ghosts. And on the bottom here, I have this gray and black spiderweb rosette. I fussy cut these cute little haunted houses from the paper collection, and we've got little tombstones here. And then I've also added in these ghosts. If you look closely, you can see these ghosts glitter. I've added Spectrum Noir clear glitter ink. I've also lined the window as well as the handle with this rhinestone trim. This is the side. And this is the back. I thought this paper was so much fun because on one hand, it looks like the traditional Halloween with the orange, black, and white. And then you have this hint of purple foil on the spider webs and on the jack-o'-lanterns. I thought that was so fun. Let's take a look inside at all of these fun embellishments. In the first box, I've included these Nouveau crystal drops. Next, we have these fun Halloween flowers. We've got cream, orange, and also black. In the third compartment, we have several fun beads. Now, these beads I ordered from Amazon. So you have a little jack-o'-lantern, you've got a spider web, you've got black and white gingham, and there's also orange and white. I'll be sure to include a link to this product in Amazon. And then in the fourth pocket, I have these fun felt stickers. We've got ghosts, we have bats, we have little witches' boots, and we also have witches' hats here on the bottom. Now that I've given you an overview of these embellishment suitcases, I'm going to grab my materials so that we can make this together. I'll be right back. For this project, you will need a piece of cardstock that measures 9.5 by 12 inches. I suggest you use a heavyweight cardstock or 110 pounds preferably. On the 9.5 inch side, you are going to score at 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 7 3/4, and 8 1/4. You're going to turn the page around on the 12 inch side and you're going to score at 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 4 7/8, 5 3/8, 6 5/8, and 10 3/4. Next, you'll need a piece of acetate, and this is 6 3/4 by 3 3/4. You will need the pieces of paper to make the compartments. For this example, I'm using 4 compartments. You will need 4 pieces of paper that measure 6 inches by 3 5/8. And on each piece, you're going to score 1 inch on all 4 sides. Next, you'll need decorative paper. You'll need a piece that measures 6 7/8 by 4 inches. For my example, I'm using a 1/8 inch border. However, you can change the measurements. If you'd like 1/4 inch, you can do that as well. You'll need side pieces of your box, which measure 1 1/8 by 4 inches, and you'll need 2 pieces. You'll also need 2 pieces that measures 6 7/8 by 1 1/8. And then you'll need 2 thin pieces that measure 3/8 of an inch by 6 7/8. And you'll need 2 small thin pieces that measure 3/8 of an inch by 4 inches. For the handle, you are going to need a piece that measures 1 3/4 inch by 6 1/2 inches. You are going to score on the 6 1/2 inch side at 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2, 5 inches, and 5 3/4 inches. On the 1 3/4 side, you are going to score in half at 7/8 of an inch. Now, if you'd like to reinforce the handle, which is what I did for my examples here, we have a very sturdy handle. I've layered this up with several pieces of cardstock. I've cut 3 additional pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 3.5, and then this is going to be scored at 7/8 of an inch for all 3 pieces. The first piece we're going to work with is this black cardstock, and you want to turn it on the longer side. You also want to grab your cutting board. What we need to do is cut a window into the front panel. So we will be cutting this piece here. Now there are a couple of ways that you can do this. You can either use a ruler and an X-Acto knife, or you can use your cutting board, which is what I'm going to do. So I just want to point out where we're actually going to be cutting. You can see on this sheet here on the right side that this panel has more score lines than this panel. And then you'll see this little rectangle in the side. This is the piece that we're going to be cutting out. We're going to be cutting out from here to here, from here to here, here, and here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my cutting board to cut up to these score lines, only cutting out this area here. Okay, so I'm just going to angle my camera here so you can get a better view. Let me zoom out. So I'm just going to line my score line up, lift up my blade, and start at that inner square. And then I'm going to go all the way up to the first score line. Okay, so you've cut this first piece here. I'm going to turn the paper around. I'm going to line it up to where that last cut was and go across just to the first score line. Okay. And then I'm going to do this on the other side, and I'm going to continue it on the bottom side as well. Okay, and you should have a small piece like this and your square cut out, just like so. So you can take away your cutting board. Now what we want to do is fold and burnish along all of the score lines. Now that we have all of the score lines folded and burnished, we're going to turn this over, and you're going to grab your acetate. I have already attached a 1/8 inch score tape on the perimeter. You could use any glue of your choice. I prefer the score tape because of its instant hold. So I'm going to position this right over the rectangle, and you should have an ample amount on either side to glue it down. So go ahead and glue that down now. Now that we have our acetate glued in, let's turn this over, and we're going to create the tabs for the box. So grab a pair of scissors, and we are going to cut on this outside edge. We're just going to cut at a slant. We're going to cut at this first score line up to the first score line. And then we're going to cut at an angle. Then we're going to go to the second space here. We're going to cut up. And you want to make sure that you angle that as well. And then you're going to go to this last tab here. We're going to repeat the same steps. Now you're going to repeat the same cuts on the opposite side. They're exactly the same. Before we assemble the box, let's attach our decorative paper. So turn this over. And you want to get the orientation of the box. So you fold this down, and this is going to be the top part, and this is going to be the bottom. This is going to be folded up just like so. And let's start adding down our layers. So you want to grab these thin pieces first. These pieces are going to go right here. You can see they fit exactly. And we have our pieces for the bottom. And you'll notice that they overlap. If you like, you can glue them down this way. I, however, like to miter the edges. So what I'm going to do is get some repositionable tape, and I'm going to miter the edges. Now, this is not an exact science, but it's worked for me, and that's what I've done on this box as well as the other box here. So it just gives you a nice finished edge. So the way I do this is I put a little piece of repositionable tape on the back of the strips and put it exactly where I want it. Okay, and I'm going to do this for all 4 pieces. You want to make sure that the corners line up. Now that I have the pieces temporarily glued down, what I'm going to do is go to each of the corners and lift them up and miter them right on the corner. So I have this glued together. I'm going to go from the point here, from this point all the way to the center. And that's going to give me a nice clean edge. I'm going to go from the edge to this little piece right here. And you're going to repeat on all 4 sides. Okay, so now you have your mitered edges. You can lift this up and just use a regular glue eraser to remove the tape. So you have a nice clean edge. And this is the angled edge that you'll get. So these pieces will match up just like so. Okay, right here. So I'm going to glue this down and I'll be right back. Next, we're going to add on these strips here. And on the side. And on the top. And then you want to glue down this back panel. You want to make sure that you have it facing the right way. So go ahead and add on these panels. Now that we have all of our pieces glued on, we're going to assemble the box. What you want to do first is assemble the bottom, and we're going to do that by attaching these center tabs to this side panel here. So we're just going to make a basic box, and it's going to be glued just like so on all 4 sides of the bottom box. And we're going to glue down this tab. I'm going to burnish these tabs just like so. And then we're going to glue on the last 2 tabs on the bottom. Okay, and give it a nice burnish. Now we're going to take the lid. We're going to fold in the tab. Okay, just like so. And we're going to glue it. And we're going to do the other side exactly the same way. And so now we have our box. I'm going to open up the lid. Now this is 7 inches. I'm going to measure over 3.5 inches and make a little mark. I'm going to grab my 1-inch circle, open up the box, and I'm going to center the top of the circle right on the area that I made the mark. And I also want to make sure that it is centered in this circle area right here. Once I have everything exactly where I want, I go ahead and squeeze. And now we have our little thumb tab. Okay. Now that we have our box complete, I'm going to put this to the side and we're going to make our inserts. So we've already scored these. Just go ahead and fold and burnish them. Now we have everything folded and burnished. We're going to do the same thing that we did on the bottom of this box. We're going to cut the outside. We're going to cut along this first tab up to this score line, and we're going to angle that tag. So you have a piece that looks like this. You're going to do this on all 4 sides. And then we're just going to assemble our box just like so. And you're going to repeat that for all 4 sides. Okay, and there's our first box. So you're going to repeat that 3 times, and then you're going to slide the box inside the larger box. I'm going to go ahead and finish assembling these boxes, and I'll be right back. Next, you want to grab your handle. We've already scored it, and we're going to glue these pieces in half just like so. We're also going to glue down the 3 other pieces that we cut. Now that we have all of these pieces glued, we're going to take the handle and we're going to fold along the score lines. First, you want to bend these pieces in just like so and burnish. Then you want to take this piece and bend it up. Make sure you've got nice clean edges. I know this is thick because you've got a double layer here. Now the one thing that I wanted to point out is that you can make your handle whatever height you want. I made mine slightly shorter than what Christian used in her video. To reinforce this handle, we have these 3 pieces, and then we're just going to glue them inside just like so, in between the score lines. And that makes your handle nice and sturdy. And once you glue these pieces in, we're going to center the handle on the box and glue it in place. I've glued down the handle and I've added in the additional support pieces. As you can see, it's extra sturdy here. I'm going to decorate this in a separate video. I also plan to do a holiday themed embellishment suitcase, so please stay tuned for that. This concludes my review of my embellishment suitcase. I had so much fun making this. Hopefully you had fun crafting along with me. Please be sure to check the description box to see all of the measurements for this project. Hopefully I've inspired you with new and creative ideas. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my video. Don't forget to join us this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, every weekend throughout the month of October for new projects, fun tutorials, surprise giveaways, and we'll be announcing a grand prize winner on Halloween evening, October 31st. Up next, please be sure to visit my crafty friend, Michelle Randall from Shabby Chic Chick. Thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now, happy crafting, and happy Halloween.